Welcome back to Transcriber from Reddit. Today's topic comes from the subreddit WitchesVsPatriarchy by user Blue Moon Gilded. Exactly how it sounds. The title of the post reads, Destroying Toxic Masculinity by Creating Safe Spaces for Vulnerability. And the tag for the post is Media Magic in a golden yellow bubble. The body of the post is an image that is a screenshot of a post. And the post first had at the top a picture of the Swedish chef from the Muppets. And if you don't know or don't remember what he looks like, he is the red-headed Muppet with the chef's hat on top, blue and white striped shirt underneath, a white chef's apron, and he'd always be mixing crazy stuff together. In this picture, he is hugging Danny Trejo. Now, if you don't know Danny Trejo, first off, his last name is spelled Trejo. Doing a quick Google search on him takes you to his Wikipedia page. Now, the Wikipedia page goes more in depth than I will here, but suffice it to say that he is an actor known for Spy Kids, among a host of other movies and TV shows, and he's been acting since the 80s. He's also a restaurateur, having opened 3 restaurants in the Los Angeles area, and as of 2020 is the owner of 8 restaurants. He also suffered abuse at the hands of his father and was abusing drugs such as marijuana, heroin, and cocaine. And he also became a drug dealer and eventually got arrested. In general, he seems like a fairly decent guy, having put all of that sordid past behind him. But the thing is, as I'm sure we all can recognize, is that the past can leave scars, very deep emotional scars. And it's very hard for men especially to be able to admit to them and open up about them, considering that there is so much pressure to bottle it all up and keep it on the inside. This is why I'm covering this post, because it is, in my opinion, it holds a beautiful statement for people everywhere to recognize, and I want to share it with all of you. The body of the post underneath the photo of Danny Trejo embracing Swedish chef begins with the caption that says, have a picture of Swedish chef and Danny Trejo destroying toxic masculinity. User Cool Witch Ant posts the following text. Trejo, that's in all caps, and this would be Danny Trejo saying the following words. He says, I never imagined that I'd be out of prison. I worked with all of the Muppets. It was amazing. I was acting next to puppets. In 30 seconds, you're having a full-on conversation with a puppet on a hand. The guys are great that do it. My mom passed away while I was in London shooting the movie, and I was a mama's boy, so it really hit me. My secretary called me and said, don't worry, you don't have to come home. We're already taking care of everything. We know what to do. I still had 2 weeks left to go, so I finished those 2 weeks. I was being really strong. I just shut down. People were coming up and saying, we're really sorry about your mom. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. She's in a better place. Everybody was like, you didn't like your mom? I know my mom in heaven would have said, screw this little bastard. And then Kermit came up and said, Dan, I'm really sorry about your mother. And I lost it. I was holding on to Kermit. Now, I cannot say exactly how much truth there is to what is being said here. However, I don't doubt Danny Trejo saying something like this, from the amount of stuff that I've watched him involved with, especially on Iron Chef. But the emotions he describes as feeling in the process of him trying to bottle up everything, only to lose it all over a Muppet who said the words he needed to hear in that moment, is something I think any guy can relate to. Personally, this is something that I want to see change. I want to see men being able to comfortably express their emotions, to be able to tear up and not be immediately judged for doing that, or for a different display of grief or their emotions inside. It's one thing to be in control of your emotions so you're not ruled by them on a daily basis, but when something bad happens to you, when something traumatic happens to you, it needs to be okay for both men and women to grieve and to express that grief. Bottling it all up on the inside is not going to make you feel better. And you shouldn't be doing it to impress other people either. That is something that I can personally attest to having grown up with. And if it wasn't for the wonderful work between God and my husband, I wouldn't be able to properly express my grief now. However, I also know that there is a difference of me showing my grief and him showing his grief. And I want to encourage everybody, to encourage the men in their lives to properly show, display whatever they need to do with their grief, just to get it off their chest so that it doesn't burden them unnecessarily. That concludes today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.
The unwelcome tears that they never had known course down their fallen faces in surprise. For human tears are older than the rain. Human tears are older than the rain.